Joining me in the studio, Miss Vivian and Mr. Rico. What's up, y'all?
Hey, how are you?
Hello, lovely to be here.
Yeah, lovely to have y'all here. Well, I mean, we really are excited. I think so many people in community are beginning to see this Midtown building take shape and take form. And you guys have been involved in it really from the gate. This has been years in the making. Miss Vivian, how has this experience really been for you? Because it's a long time coming.
Well, you know, Rico has actually been involved much longer than I have.
Only a little bit.
Well, actually, 2 years, I think, before
Okay,
I
fine.
got.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
That's why I was going to him next, because he's been longer.
And so I guess if a couple of things. Had it not been for the fact that Rico was involved, I would not have been involved, I'm certain. But the process since 2019 for me has been incredibly enriching. Seeing the art come to fruition the way that it is right now is mind-blowing for me, because I've been looking at it on paper since 2019, you know, and it's not all done.
Yeah.
I mean, only three of the 8 installations are in process right now. So I'm blown away.
Yeah,
I'm blown away.
I mean, really, and you know, Miss Vivian's right there, Rico. This has really been, I think, innovative project to a certain degree. I know Lake Union Partners, they were saying, look, we've never really done a project like this that has been so rooted in community. How has that been for you? Because you've really helped to, you know, expand that out and like, let's do something different with this space.
Yeah, so I was brought in, admittedly, in the middle of a process, right? Like, an initial design had already been completed, and there was definitely a rift between developer and the community, and I was brought in to help build a bridge and to get to a better place. I think that we were able to do that, and you know, I feel like part of my job has always been a little bit of the Robin Hood thing, right? Like, you've got some folks that have access and privilege and, you know, are going to do a thing, and like, how do you build a roadmap so that our people can like get involved, be supported, and like we can also express the rich value of community that we are. Yeah. And I think that, you know, we went from what was what I will call a standard program for a building that, like, you know, they were doing them South Lake Union, and they did 2 others like at 23rd and Union that did not involve community. And there was a real opportunity to do something different here.
Well, you know, so much of this is about pushing the envelope, right? Changing what the status quo looks like. And I think one of the great things that comes out of projects like this is now there's a model. There's a model
Right.
for how to do it, that you can no longer say, well, we don't know, or you know, it's never been done before. Now there's a model. So I want to dive in, because I know we have some amazing photos and some little montages of a lot of this artwork. Miss Vivian, I'll let you go ahead and walk us through some of the amazing art that's happening right there on the building.
So just to preface it, before we get into the description and the artist, I just want to say that the community engagement process that took place for 2 years prior to this art plan being developed is what set the stage for the art that is now a part of the plan. My role was to come in and to really kind of synthesize and codify all of the information that you all actually put together and to make it mean something. So the meaning turned out to be the theme for the artwork, which is reverence and discovery, meaning that we want to pay homage to the legacy of the community, and we also want to be inspired into the future. So with that, let's take a look at the artist. Let's start with Perri Johnson. Perri Johnson's work is we call it Location 1, the Northwest building, but you'll see his work that wraps across 23rd Avenue and around Union Street. Perri has called this the most important work of his artistic career. And I'm so excited that he's a part of this. It's just absolutely beautiful work that he's done. And that's just from the initial sketches that we saw. It looks a whole lot different from that now.
It does. And if I can add to that, I mean, what we were able to open up through the community process, and Vivian bringing you in, was to actually make the building be a canvas for his work. And you'll see that in one of the other pieces as well. But just the idea that creating an iconic building, I mean, at such an important location for the community, and having that exhibit like Black pride and Black color, you know,
Yeah.
like as a part of what you experience even before you get to that intersection, I think was really important.
Wow.
And part
absolutely.
of what Barry has done in his work is he has used all the colors that comprise the color black. You know, and it's so vibrant and beautiful. Next up is Yegizaw Michael. And Yeggy has done a piece that will frame the front of the 23rd and Union corner. So directly across from Uncle Ike's, not to do a plug for him. But anyway, there's a wooden installation that is also a historical timeline of the central area. Next up is MYRON Curry. MYRON is, look at that face. Look at that face. I adore
Such a
him
sweet
so
man.
much. But MYRON is creating these pieces that really do embody reverence and discovery and inspiration. And the materials that he's using, he will be painting onto brick, and that's along the 23rd Avenue side of the building. And he's also using tile as a part of that. And then we've got Henry Jackson Spieker and KT Hancock. They are doing a lighting installation that is being installed in the, I guess we call it a passageway, a portal, an entry portal, off of 23rd Avenue. So just east of the corner of 23rd and Union is an entry portal into the main square, and that's where his light installation will be. And then, or I should say their light installation, KT and Henry. And then there's Takiyah T-Dub Ward. All right. Takiyah, you all, I think everybody in the city became much more aware of Takiyah and her work as a result of the Black Lives Matter mural at Capitol Hill during the Chop Chaz days. I have to give it both Chop and Chaz. But she is also doing a illustrative timeline that encompasses not only the indigenous presence in the central area, but brings us all the way through to Larry Gossett, for instance, as a representative of District 2, which is the central area. So she's incorporating imagery that is facial features and also some of the iconic locations and spaces and places that we know, Mount Rainier, Garfield High School, that kind of thing. And that is on the mural. It's a 120-foot mural that is inside the central square.
That'll be it'll be a backdrop for performance and for speaking engagements, and it's pretty amazing. It's almost done.
Yeah,
now.
she's getting real close to being done. I think when you see the video, you'll see a little bit, a sneak peek of that. And then it's Adam Jabari Jefferson, and his location is on the Union Street side. It is up. It is black and white. It is 3 panels, and it is called From Left to Right, Been Here, Neighborly Day, and Land, Earth, Legacy. Wow. So when you look at those 3 panels, you see folks who have been here. You see just the kind of, warm, welcoming, happy day. And then Land, Earth, Legacy, well, who anchors that? Mother Earth. Yeah. Dr. Maxine Mims.
Absolutely, rightfully so.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's 3 large pillars essentially right across the street from Liberty Bank.
Yeah, I mean I think that's really a big draw already right now. I mean, you see Dr. Mims on the building. You're
I know, right?
And the great thing about it is that photo, I was at least able to be a part of that because I helped to curate the photo shoot for that photo. So it's like, you know what? It goes deep. It goes deep.
Yeah.
Everybody can see a piece of themselves.
I know.
right.
That's the intent. Is for us all to see a piece of ourselves in that art. And then we've got got Juan Alonso Rodriquez. Juan's piece is going on the 24th Avenue portal. So there's another entryway off of Union Street at 24th into the main square. And his piece is 4 steel, and you might have to help me because he knows all the technical terms for this. But these pieces will be embraced onto the building, and they are hollyhocks. And the hollyhock semblance is of a plant that's really very popular in the central area, and it is very present in the garden at the James Washington House. So this piece is complementary to the return of the Fountain of Triumph, which is also going back onto the site that was done by James Washington Jr.
Wow.
So, the only thing I would say about his piece, which is amazing, he came in, so we went through a community process and created a community review group that did both went through the initial applications and then did all the interviews. And when we got to the interview portion, he came in with a full-scale mock-up that went from floor to ceiling.
Wow.
Totally blew us away. And I mean, it's just, they're all amazing pieces.
Really, this entire process is so community driven. I know Africatown Community Land Trust was like really in the thick of this, working with Lake Union partners to say, you know what, how do we engage more and more of our community members? How do we go above the status quo with regard to, we only need to, touch community a couple of times? Well, no, let's look at this process, and let's also bring people like yourselves. I know Margot Jones, also there in this artist selection process. How do we have people that are from community being very engaged in this process? So I love to see how all of that effort, and me being on the inside in that regard, was able to see that, man, this was a lot of man hours put toward this. But this wasn't just something, like you said, 2 years in the making here and even beyond, that really now is starting to flourish and people are able to experience it.
Yeah, and I do want to give a shout out to the process and the people who are involved in the process. But first I want to complete this by going to Perri Rhoden's piece, which is a piece that will be painted on the brick wall, which is at the 24th Avenue portal. So it's near where Juan's piece is going up. And her theme is about breath. Giving life and breath to the building and to the people who will be coming through that entryway. But, and again, these are only representative from early sketches, and so when you see the final work, it'll be so much more vibrant and so much more detailed as well.
And Perri's piece, if I recall, that'll be the largest piece that she has done as a young artist. So like as an opportunity to bring her up and bring artists into a greater recognition of their work has been a great opportunity.
And so the beauty is that there is multi-generational representation of art and artist in this project. And again, I want to just be sure to say that the folks that made the selection, I didn't make the selection. Rico didn't make the selection. We set up the process, we facilitated the process, but Stephanie Johnson Tollover, Leilani Lewis, Ernest Thomas, Brace Evans, you're gonna have to help me out. Come on. Margot Jones. And I feel like I'm forgetting at least one other person. Forgive me if I forgot you. But they dedicated 2 full days of review together of over 90 applications for the art. They debated and they whittled that down to 16 finalists. Then they spent another 2 full days in interviews with the finalists and made the final selection. Wow. So it is because of them that we've got this incredible building, in addition to all of the wonderful artists who are represented there. So we will put a plaque up on that building that has all of those names on it and give them the homage that they deserve for the time they spent as well.
I do have to give Vivian props though, because I'm a recovering architect. 27 years I practiced architecture, and so on my end with Lake Union Partners, we created, what what is the art plan? Where are the opportunities? What are those locations? Communicated that to the city and the community. But Vivian brought, like, breathed, is that a word? Life into that plan and that vision, and brought, I mean, you know everybody in this city. You brought, people came because of your vision and your association with this. So
This
I'm
is a
just
beautiful
saying.
thing. And I know we have a little bit more of video too. I just want to be able to showcase to the folks some of what you guys can see right now on the building. Curtis, let's go ahead and show them some of this amazing artwork. This is beautiful. That right there is the
So
piece.
that's Barry's
Yep. Yep.
pieces. And then there are Adam's pieces. And I just think and there's we just missed it, but that is the entryway into the square, which is equivalent in size to the square that we're very close to here in Pioneer Square. There are lots of flora and fauna going into that square, as well as a big tree, so it will also have life.
Tree of Life, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the tree of life.
Well, I can't thank you guys enough for coming on to explain all this amazing art. I know we're going to keep in contact with you guys as more and more of these installations get put up. Just kudos to you guys and everybody who's been a part of this process to make sure that community voice is really at the center of this iconic location on 23rd and Union. I know I grew up right there, and so this is so important to all of us. Can't thank you guys enough for your work and your effort here.
Thank you so much.
Triana,
We really
thank you so much.
appreciate it.
Absolutely.